Okay, hello everyone. How are you guys doing? You guys are enjoying your weekend so far. So yeah, it's F123 night tonight. So I'm gonna continue on with Breaking Point. Just had a bit of practice beforehand, so to get to grip straight away. So yeah, more podium pass stuff. Whatever. More Bitcoin. Neat, I guess. How much Bitcoin do I need? It's 9,000. Track data, stickers, and all these nonsense. Hope I'm loud and clear. Got this one to 50. Season 2, 22 days. Okay. Right. Let's get into it. Hope we're still able to change difficulty in the middle of the story. Menu. Doesn't say. It doesn't say about the difficulties, because I felt like challenging is a little too easy for my liking. Kind of need to check further. Where can I look at? Head over to settings menu. That's nothing to do with breaking point. So in the middle of the race, I guess. So yeah, we'll look at that. I think we've already read through all of these, so I think we're all good. New post. Help. Oh, it's just all these stuff. Right, here we go. On to the next chapter, Japanese Grand Prix, several weeks later. With only a handful of races remaining in the 22 campaign, Sport is still looking to make their mark on the sport during the first season as part of the F1 grid.
Hey boss, got another one for you.
Sold that merchandise. While we've been able to keep the F1 Sport shop fully stocked, we're getting some negative press regarding the quality of the finish on some of the items. Frankly, it's not up to our usual standards. We've had to issue more refunds than expected, and it's affected our projected numbers for this year. That's it. Didn't get to have a choice there.
Davidov?
Connor, just thought I'd call for catch up.
Wait. What time is it where you are?
Doesn't matter. I wanted a report before the race.
Ah, right. I did ask them to send across all the data to you. Perhaps they forgot. I'll make sure to,
Uh-oh.
No, I got it all here. Busy man, Andrea. I don't have time to read all that. How's it all look?
The car is running well, data's solid. Whole team seems confident, and based on the forecasts, we're sticking to the original tire strategy as we discussed. So we'll see.
Good. And the boys?
Keeping to themselves. So no fireworks. Aiden's been a little quiet, but that's usually a good sign before a race. And Devon's,
I've already spoken to Devon. He's good to go.
oh. Right.
Well, keep up the good work. Good luck. I'm sure we'll speak after.
You know, like the others a little too quiet for my liking right now for some reason, somehow. Should do. I hate it they went for 0 to 10, should be like 100, I reckon. News, trackside chats, the outspoken David of Butler initially arranged for a face-to-face meeting. Ever shifting his schedule meant that in the end I was only able to catch him on a 20-minute video call. I was determined to cover as much ground as I could. This is Colin Perry, but he's a tricky man to pin down. When I ask him about his F1 superstar son, he won't answer me. Why on earth would I want to talk about Devon, he says. It's me you're interviewing, come on, focus. Davidoff smirks when he makes these kinds of comments to let me know he's not serious. And yet I can't help but get the sense he means it. He is happy to talk about Cornersport, however, Cornersport represents a real opportunity, he says. Still season continues, we have a new name on the grid, with Alpine having finally secured their lineup after the sorry saga of their pursuit of outgoing junior driver Oscar Piastri. They are set to keep it an all-French affair. That's because Esteban Ocon will be joined by Pierre Gasly next year. The two know each other well, and if you believe the rumors, always a dangerous thing to do. They're not necessarily the best of friends. However, all that matters is whether they can work together in the garage and on track. Meanwhile, the best driver not to race in Formula 1 finally has a seat. Nick De Vries will line up in the white and blue Scuderia AlphaTauri next year, making him a rookie at the ripe age of 28. But age is just a number, and the FE champion truly deserves his place on the grid after. I mean, we all know what happened since. Is that it? Am I in the right window? Okay. Where champions are crowned, Suzuka. Heavy is the head. And as things stand, it looks likely we'll see Max Verstappen crowned World Drivers' Champion on Sunday. But a learned F1 fan would tell you that it's not just his pace that makes it likely, but the history of the venue. Excuse me. Suzuka, home of the Japanese Grand Prix, has seen 11 champions crowned, with 13 in total coming in Japan. Wait, has seen... Oh, okay. It's due to where it falls in the season, sure, but romantic F1 fans would also argue that the beautiful circuit and a passionate crowd tied with Japan's own history with motor racing create the kind of dramatic atmosphere benefiting coronation. Let's see if we need to roll out the red carpet this weekend when. So there's supposed to be like a scroll for this. I'm gonna get my other controller here if that's the case. Nah, nothing really to scroll down further the article. Social. Anyone read the Old Man Butler interview? Not going to talk about his son. No wonder Devon's on the bounce this season. That's from Arab. Absolutely the right move for Gasly. He was never gonna get a second shot at Red Bull. Now, if he can impress Alpine, he can make a case for one of the other top teams. It's been an eventful maiden season for Cornersport, but I think they've really found their place within the paddock. Wait, I need to remember what that all those logos mean. So reputation, performance. Orange's reputation, on-track actions, I think, is the green. Press is the chatbot dialogue bubble. Agreed, there appears to be a real sense of respect from the other teams regarding what they've managed to do this year outside of some of the more chaotic races from Bindit. I wonder what they feel about Andretti. If this budget cap use is spicy, I think that's when Red Bull breached the budget cap last year. Not a lot of talk in this breaking point. 21 season drama keeps coming back to haunt us. True. Tiamat Marduk. 2022 has been a year for headlines. Can't wait to see what Cornersport gets wrong next. What the hell did my... Just as I say that, Ben is streaming F1 23 Manager. F1 Manager 23. The car, it will be the car. They've had a couple of good races, so they're in for something major. Goner Sport. Track limits. Replying to Ben. How ironic. Mr. Whatevs, nah, it'll be Devin. He'll do something really stupid this time. Drive the wrong way around the track and they won't do a thing. I mean, they can take away the super license for that. That's a pretty dangerous move, to say the least. If I recall correctly, Gasly and Ocon don't get on that well. Between Alpine and Cornersport, the 23 season could be a doozy in terms of drama. I mean, this year the two have collided together numerous times, especially Australia. Can't remember all the other moments they tangled together this year, actually. But Australia's stands out the most. While their car has shown itself to be temperamental, it has shown up at times. Fascinating position for Cornersport heading into next year. From Noble F1, Sparky, it's shown potential. Certainly impressive from a first-year team. Coming into the tail end of the season, time for some midfield madness. Looking forward to see where Cornersport end up after this one. Grumpy old fan, arguing with each other at the back of the grid. Crofty, great signing, two competitive drivers, both with something to prove. Quite like the look of Alpine for 23. Feels like Gasly has been a bit underrated in recent years. Acker, my man, and the Vries AlphaTauri. Nice to have another Dutchman to keep Max company after Ackerman retiring last year. Orange Army, nice. Torque, Suzuka, nothing comes close. Greatest perfect weekend. Wheel guy. Always worth the early start, still asleep. Yeah, like mainly Europe base the sport as it is. For me, it would be like around noon or past noon. Too fast for you. Can't believe we are nearly done with another year of F1 who can finish strong in the remaining races. Cornersport search from Devon Haven. Devon is still the GOAT. Visual thinking, Goner Sport. What was the other guys who said Goner Sport? I think was the reply to Ben. Yeah, I see it. Emails, field Paget, car update. The full reports on your desk. The short version, both cars are running within optimal levels based on our projections. We're in a good place, of course. We could always do more if we had more time, but we've worked this up to the wire. We'll be keeping a close eye on all the data, but I'm sure if we go with the tire strategy you're planning, the boys will be home in no time. See you on the other side. Casper, I just read an interview with Davidoff Butler, the latest trackside chats. I mean, I've heard some stories, but is he like that all the time? No wonder Devon's like he is. I feel for you, Andreo. He seems like an absolute nightmare to work with. Rather you than me. Best of luck at Suzuka. Was always one of my favorites. But he's managing the daughter, isn't that right? Linda Clifton. Andy, just to let you know that the Sakura have confirmed they didn't know if they'd be able to fit the whole team in, but have decided to close both floors for the night, so we've got the whole place to ourselves. The owner really went out of his way to help us. I'm sure the team will appreciate it and that your dad will love it. Well, on the subject of Antonio, I'm so pleased he'll arrive safely, and to think he's getting married. He's right, he did have some news at 92. I guess you're never too old. What? Make sure you wish him congratulations from me. Marrying at the age of 90, that's interesting. Morning, boss. I've just passed the attached information to the drivers. I told them to keep in mind that there are a couple of different ways to take the hairpin here at Suzuka. Instinctively, they'll want to take a tight line, but they can probably carry more speed if they go slightly wider, kind of like the carousel at the Norwich Life. Mark Priestley. So we're starting 13th. I mean, there's not really in the attachment, is there? Right. Think we are good to go.
Hey boss, got a couple of minutes?
For a moment. As is usual with the movie industry, there's been a delay in production, so the filming will take place next season, booked in for just after the Spanish Grand Prix this weekend. I just spat. This clashes with a scheduled mid-season testing in Catalonia. Wait. Davidoff is keen we allow Cornersport to get as much exposure as possible and stick to the filming schedule. We can't realistically commit to both. What should we prioritize? I hate to say it, but Davidoff is right. The film is good. Too good an opportunity to pass up. Getting Cornersport the big screen is excellent for the team. We can't buy that kind of publicity. Davidoff isn't running this team. I am testing and performance on track is our number one priority. We'll have to cancel that film. I'll be in the testing side. Sorry. We want performance. We need performance more, and that comes long-term reputation, in my opinion. A solid start to the race sees Aiden on pace for one of his better performances behind the wheel of the Cornersport car. I think I know what's gonna happen here. It's one of the cutscenes shown in the trailer. I like the. Whoops! Hit the mic. I like the.
Okay, mate, I need you to push before the pit window opens. Push, push.
On it.
Wait, I'm gonna check. There you go. Why is it not in the menus? I like that they're using the last year's intro and the replay flashback transitions.
Okay, mate, I need you to push before
Here we
the pit
go.
window opens. Push, push.
I wonder what's gonna
On
be
it.
like with the hardest difficulty. What the hell is going on? All of a sudden, I've lost the. Force feedback once again. It was heavy when I was practicing. Minimize their control panel. the default settings is pretty dumb because I looked up at Reddit and like the brake
Okay,
bias
mate, I need
and
you to
the
push
diff
before
are
the
too
pit window
high,
opens.
or
Push,
like in
push.
the wrong settings.
On it.
I mean, I guess the diff is alright.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
Probably should practice on this track.
Okay, clear.
Okay.
Okay, mate, I need you to push before the pit window opens. Push, push.
On it.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff. Brilliant, nice move, keep going. Okay, the incident's been cleared, let's get back up to racing speed, come on.
Whoops. Right.
Another pit stop here at Suzuka. This time it's Aiden Jackson coming in. He's been making steady progress today, and
Oh boy, here we
Motorsport
go.
need him to.
Oh
They
my
definitely
God.
need some results, and they could do without this. And look, there's chaos in that garage.
Absolutely, only 3 wheels on the car at the moment, Crofty. Aiden Jackson looks on in despair. Here comes that spare wheel now.
That's a long, long time to wait, just sat in the cockpit.
Why is there
What's
only
going on
3?
down at Motorsport?
Well, the tyre is finally out of the garage and on the car, and Aiden Jackson's back out in the race, but it's a long time in the pit, and that will cost them dearly.
And I just spun.
What was that? How many places did I lose? Okay, try not to worry about that, Aiden. Just focus on the race, get your head down, and let's put it back.
Oh my God.
I'm sick of this!
All these like multiple point turn. Yeah. Oh, not in control yet. Come on. When do I get control? Finish ahead of Butler.
Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 11.3 seconds. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps of fuel left.
Not in the DRS
Lap to your
range
teammate ahead
of
is
9%.
31.3 seconds.
same turn in the dirty air. Oh, did I get beached on the gravel? That was a very interesting line.
Good job, nice overtake.
What? Oh, it's the Xbox.
Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 1.9 seconds.
So 19.
The car behind started to drop back. There's a gap beginning. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. You're lapping around a second faster than the car ahead. Keep this up.
Okay, maybe I spoke too soon about the difficulty here. Or I suppose I'm not really meant to Oh, I have to start this far again?
Okay, mate, I need you to push before the pit window opens. Push, push.
Or maybe I'm typically meant to finish far behind after that pit stop blunder.
Our gap behind is 2.9 seconds.
Oh!
What was that? How many places did I lose? Okay, try not to worry about that, Aiden. Just focus on the race, get your head down, and let's put it back.
Oh, the spin out of the pit exit should
Look
not
at this.
was not supposed to happen. That's why. You know what? I'm gonna restart again at the hard difficulty. I guess the spin at the pit exit was not supposed to happen.
Okay, mate, I need you to push. before
That
the
was
pit
real
window
strange.
opens. Push, push.
That it happened.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
What the hell was Latifi doing? Wait, you know what? Yeah, right here.
Okay, the gap behind is 3.5 seconds. What was that? How many places did I lose? Okay, try not to worry about that, Aiden.
I
Just
think I
focus
can
on the
see
race,
what
get your head
what
down, and
what
let's
really
pull it
happened
back.
there. As to why I spun out of pit exit. It was trying to redirect me into the racing line as Aiden was exiting the pit lane.
We're currently trailing our teammate by 8.9 seconds.
Okay, brake later than that. To downshift twice at Degner 1. Don't risk it. Norris trying to make a move.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, information on sights. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Devin is just ahead of this.
Pulling out a second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Was a bit of a robust move on our teammate.
Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
I lowered down the force feedback a while ago, before the stream, so I feel like I'm increasing it tonight again. Max Verstappen becomes the world champion of 2022. What the hell just happened?
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Well, it's still too close to call at the top of the table. Meanwhile, at the other end, Ant, you can really understand Aiden Jackson's frustrations tonight.
Yeah, they've had car problems all season long, Crofty. They've had a bad mix-up in the garage today. Connor Sport won't be proud of that one.
And Connor Sport won't be proud of that. It's the longest pit stop we've had this season. Not the sort of record any team wants to set. Here come today's
Quite
winners.
the-
The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently.
In
and
real
it's
life,
clear
it
to
was
see
a
that they've put
rather
in the
different
work, and they should be
Japanese
so
Grand Prix.
proud of the victory they secured here.
I think they didn't even have a running in. Wait, no, that was the other Japanese Grand Prix, but like was raining all throughout the weekend. Plus the lengthy red flag. Quite the contrast to real life.
Well, Aidan, I'm sure you already know what I'm going to ask. That pit stop looked like a nightmare. So what on earth happened today?
It's a little too reserved for a answer in my opinion.
I guess the truth is, Natalie, the only thing I can focus on is my driving. There was clearly a problem out there today, and I'm sure we'll find out what happened. Next question?
Well, there is a lot of talk on social media about whether Devon is actually getting preferential treatment by the team. So, do you think, is there any truth to that, or is it an unfair assumption?
No comment. Devon could use a bit of preferential treatment with his sheesh. That was pretty. This would be a pretty savage answer.
It's a good question. Davidoff Butler may be funding the team, but he's a good man. He works hard to make sure that everyone's equal. So, no, I don't think so.
Well, Aidan, the list seems to get longer. Car reliability, you and Devon bumping wheels, and now issues in the pit lane. Huge mounting problems at Connorsport. Has there been any talk at all about what the team might do next season, considering that you and Devon just don't seem to get along?
Sheesh! Wow, ready to leave the team already.
Yeah, I've been thinking about next season, but who knows what the future will bring. At the moment, it's all about Connorsport and bringing in as many points as I can.
And finally, I've got to ask you about this. It has been reported that Mercedes have agreed a deal for George Russell to play a small part in the latest Throttle Zone movie. What do you make of that?
That's got a lot to offer outside the world of F1. Not something I'm interested. That would be not help the reputation.
I've always thought George would make a great actor, actually. I mean, he's got his own suit, he's ready for the red carpet. He's got a lot to offer outside of the F1 world, so, yeah.
Wasn't
I'm
there
pleased that he's
something
finally getting
promoted
a chance to
last
show
year
us
in
what
Monaco
he's
with
got.
George?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
An untimely pit stop error cost Adrian value time at the Japanese Grand Prix, which only serves to stroke his frustrations within team at Motorsport. Only pass XP.
Talk to me.
About what? You saw the race, right? What is there to say?
Thought you could do with blowing off a little steam.
What is even the point in wasting any more energy? It's not the car, it's the team. It's not the team, it's the car. No one seems to care how much effort I'm putting into all of this.
Which is why you need to double down. Listen, I promised I wouldn't say anything, but the top three are talking, Aiden.
What?
They've already reached out to us. Looks like there might be some last-minute negotiations on the cards, but keep that to yourself, okay?
Yeah, of course.
No doubt there'll be some wrangling. You're contracted for another season, but your tenacity has been noticed.
Wow, I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything you're not supposed to know. I hate to admit it, but Connorsport can't keep up with you, Aiden. Just do me a favor, would you?
Yeah, sure. What is it?
I need you to push as hard as you can to get as much out of you before I lose you to a better team. Can you do that for me?
Of course. No problem.
Good boy. You know I'm here whenever you need me. Speak soon.
I think Davidoff wants him out. Stuck in the pits, the latest F1 team can't just can't catch a break in the season that has seen setback after setback for the fledgling Connorsport Butler Global Racing Team. It's a fact of the sport, commented Phil Paget, head mechanic for Connorsport. We knew from the outset the challenges we'd face, but certainly it seems the odds are stacked against us far more than we imagined, with car problems, clashing drivers, and now a disastrous pit stop in Suzuka to add to their resume of disasters. One can only wonder when Connorsport will have the space to start finding their form. I mean, look, remember what happened in the Dutch Grand Prix just a couple of weekends ago, so it's not so bad, I guess. But it's not all doom and gloom. Even with issues in the pits, Jackson managed to secure 7th. Impressive given the circumstances, and public opinion is finally beginning to turn in Connorsport's favor. Seen as the unavoidable underdogs, there is now a swath of positivity from fans spread to see a titanic turnaround for the team. Verstappen makes 2 on the bounce, never in doubt. Just like Max Verstappen has sealed his second World Drivers' Championship and his second in a row after the tumult of 22 seemed to be relatively plain sailing for him even after the spirited early challenge of Charles Leclerc and Ferrari. Indeed, it seemed to be a calmer, more composed, more mature Verstappen behind the wheel, steadied, as it were, by that first championship last year. Now the Dutchman begins an extended victory lap, but it's not like Supermax to take it gently. Expect more wins and podiums over the races to come, which they did. The outspoken Davidoff Butler initially arranged a face-to-face meeting. I think I have read all of these. Yes, we have. Social. Well, I didn't have that on my Connorsport bingo card. A team that absolutely full of surprises and none of them good. Really? You wouldn't put that on the bingo card? I don't know, it's really showing what a great driver Jackson is. No matter what they throw at him, he always pulls it back. T999, fair play to Eden. Getting points out there today was looking doubtful after that pit stop. He dug deep for that performance. Imagine what he could have done with a normal pit stop. Connor must be on the warpath after that. Another championship, dominant performance all season from Rosanna Tennant. I thought Leclerc might have been able to challenge him at the start of the year, but for our mistakes and rebel consistency made it too easy for someone with Verstappen's down. No doubt. First the car, then the drivers, now the pit crew. What's next for this team? No preferential treatment at Connorsport according to Eden. I'm surprised to hear him say that. I mean, considering how Davidov was talking to Eden. I'm gonna miss this level of drama next season. Connorsport clearly won't be around to provide it. We need to get Aiden Jackson released from this cowboy outfit. Cowboy. Let's pull together and try to get this hashtag trending. Free Aiden Jackson. Going to be in the next Throttle Zone film. Wait. The way I answered the Throttle Zone was not really like was more in George. Yeah, but TZ18 was terrible. 4 hours of CG nonsense. It hasn't been good since Throttle Zone 8. Rise of the Breakdancers. I don't know what this is about. Notice how none of these problems ever happened to Daddy's boy. Butler must be frustrating for Jackson. Verstappen getting 2-time champion. Right. Email. I don't know. I know I don't usually mail you directly, but after what happened today, I just want to apologize personally. The whole garage is so upset about what happened out there today. Personally, I'm furious. Rest assured, we think we've isolated the problem and we'll be making sure this never happens again. Feel free to pop down anytime you like. Your IP is always welcome. Alisa Lang, a reminder on dealing with the press. Media relations. After what happened today, it's likely that we're going to be getting a lot of press interest, perhaps even approaching departments that aren't usually press facing. So just a reminder that each head of department has a full guidelines on press protocol and should brief their teams accordingly Andrea will be releasing an official statement soon. I advise everyone to read it and not divert from that angle should they be approached. Realize that matters like this can get complicated, but a clear party line shows that the team is united and will make any awkward questions go away a lot faster. Feel free to send me a message should anyone have any questions. The auction, we missed out on Nigel Mansell's racing gloves. I know how much you wanted them, so I'm really sorry. At the end, it was down to just us and one other bidder. I have no clue who it was, but no matter how high it went, they just keep pushing. All told, they went for 5 times the estimate, which was over double what you told me was your comfortable ceiling. I'm sorry again. Aiden, rest assured, I'll keep my eyes open for other similar memorabilia coming onto the market. We'll get the next one. Saskia, personal assistant. Brian Doyle. Blimey, Aiden, what was that? Hats off for keeping your cool and getting back into the race. You're a darn good driver. Those seconds must have felt like hours. You did yourself proud out there today. Well done. Would you believe I nearly missed it? We're spending a week in the Costa del Sol. I never realized how hard it would be to find a bar that was showing the Grand Prix retirement life. If I was gonna retire, I'm not really the type of person to go every beach and stuff. I've been sending you postcards too. I imagine they'll be waiting for you when you get back home in a bit. I'm really like, I would be the opposite of what Brian would be in retirement, I reckon. Next chapter.
You saw it, right? The pit stop? How am I supposed to deal with that? I know. I want a chance to prove what I can do, though. In a top-tier seat. I deserve it.
Out of your own motorhome,
I've heard
Aiden.
there might be interest. I can't stay here. Okay. Well, what would you do?
So, what advice did you give him?
Well, I told him to try to stay calm, see out the season, and then go to the final team meeting. See if that changed his mind.
And where were you at this point?
Oh, I was busy getting Callie ready for the final race of the F2 season.
The quirk of the F2 calendar. We just had one last weekend in Italy. Then last race would be Abu Dhabi. Like that's a huge gap between between weekends for F2, which is not ideal. Obviously, it's not as bad as the 21 calendar as it was. They had the huge gap between weekends. Okay, final race of the F2 2022 season, Abu Dhabi. Having put together a number of impressive performances throughout the season, Callie Mayer finds herself within touching distance of the F2 championship at the season finale in Abu Dhabi. Last year's real life champion was Felipe Drugovich. Right, here we go. Okay, we're in the paddock. I'm anticipating a call from Evelyn.
I know why you're calling, but make it quick because I have to keep my head in the game.
Of course, darling, but it wouldn't be right if I didn't call to wish you luck.
Thanks, Mum, but luck really won't do anything. I need a clean strategy and just to keep my head, that's all.
Look, which you do, and you will. Just breathe, Cal, okay? You've already put the work in. Now all you need to do is get out there and do what you always do. Yeah?
Yeah, you're right.
Who knows? If you bring this one home, I may even call your father to gloat a little.
Mum, not now.
Davidoff?
Oh, I'm just trying to lighten the mood a bit.
I know. You'll be watching, right?
Just try and stop me. Race fast, honey.
News. Can Callie do it? All eyes on Mayer in the world of motorsport, being only the second driver, ever female driver after Tatiana Calderon to drive in the F2 championship. Now the world can only watch and wonder what might be the next for young Brit Callie Mayer. With a blistering start to the season, followed by consistent podium finishes, Mir has undoubtedly been the breakout sensation of 22, so she has already made waves, but can she make history? With only a single race left in the F2 season, it's easy to get ahead of oneself and see Mir as poised to becoming the first woman ever to win the F2 championship, but competition is fierce, and we all know the unexpected can always happen out on the track, especially with stakes this high. Looking forward at Kona Sport, what's in store for Kona Sport Butler Global Racing Team. But as we close on the final race of the season, what does the future look like for Kona Sport? It's definitely a long-term investment of money, people, and time, assured Davidoff Butler when asked about the matter in recent television interview. Sure, there may be a reshuffle here and there, but Kona Sport was never just a one-and-done kind of deal. But beyond that, well, we'll just have to see. F1 is undoubtedly a sport, a vision and dreams, something that Kona Sport has in spades, but it's also an unforgiving sport. It's undeniable that Kona Sport have brought color and drama to the grid this year, but can they take what they've learned into the 23 season and become the contenders we know they can be? Sargent to fly the stars and stripes in F1 next year, and Latifi is out. And it's not surprising, as one of the oft-repeated talking points this year has revolved around the US, especially F1's ever-growing popularity there. Now they'll have their own mascot to cheer for, as Logan Sargent will next year step up from F2 to join Williams in F1. The Floridian has shown good pace in F2 since his debut back in the final round of 21, become the first American to win in an F2 race when he did so at Silverstone. But with any new signing comes a departure, and so it is for Nicholas Latifi after 3 seasons with Williams. He never quite showed his potential with the Oxfordshire-based team, but he knows that has a bright future in other classifications, he says. Well, that case is now studying for like business administration, if I recall correctly. Sargent hasn't really formed this year since, but it had shown some potential in the Dutch Grand Prix, getting into Q3 for the first time. Vettel waves F1 goodbye. And so the long goodbye is over. Farewell Sebastian Vettel, 4-time World Drivers' Champion, ally, activist, legend. He departs Aston Martin and departs F1 for a new adventure, having won 4 consecutive titles with Red Bull from 2010 to 2013. His place in F1 history is set. Only Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, and Juan Manuel Fangio have won more. Vettel hasn't announced exactly what his future holds, but in his retirement video he mentioned climate justice and that there is still a race to win. For now, all that's left to say is Danke Seb. Haas decided to twist rather than stick. Hulkenberg in, Schumacher out. F1 is a cruel sport. Sometimes you spend ages waiting for your chances for an F1 seat. Spend the first year in that seat driving a vastly underpowered car and then find yourself out the door after just 2 seasons. But that's Formula 1, as Mick Schumacher now finds out the hard way. It was a mixed year for the young German, finding himself involved in some scraps and some shunts in the first half of the season, as well as enduring a long wait for the first points on the board, but his second half was more reliable, staying out of trouble nicely, except Japan in the practice session. It wasn't even at the end of the practice session, if I recall correctly. Though it's possible Haas's mind was already made up, and they have now contracted the returning Nico Hulkenberg to replace him, an experienced operator who has never quite set the sport alight. Is this his moment? Too early to tell. Social, this is it. We're about to see first ever female F2 champion. Not so fast. She's got to win it first. She has to win, okay. Oh man, Kelly Mayer has got to be feeling the pressure today. If she doesn't take the championship, then she's already had a blinder of the season. She should be a proud whatever. Can't watch. Wake me up when it's over. Excuse me. Tricky track, yes, Marina special in F2 car will be exciting one to watch. From DC, Natalie Pinkham. Feels like the world is watching. If Calimero can secure the championship today, we'll be watching history being made. Me and my girls have taken over the tally. They can't sit still. Not long to go now. So sad it's Seb's last race weekend. Leclerc, Russell, De Vries, Piastri. How I would love to see a certain name on that list. What a crescendo this is going to be. What a crescendo this is gonna be to another cracking F2 season. Could not read that one pretty well. I always love watching the rookies fly around F2. Can't believe another season has gone so quickly. I mean, look at those names. Except for De Vries, all of them were F2 rookies at that time when they won the championship. It's looking like Hulkenberg will be one to replace Schumacher at Haas next year. It's been a tricky couple of years for Mick, but hopefully he lands on his feet. It's been a long gap between the last F2 race. Here's hoping no one has dropped the ball between now and then. Piastri, Schumacher, De Vries, Russell, Leclerc. Could Calimero be the next to join the list of familiar names from break? Mr. Whatevs saying no. Here come the trolls. Oh boy. Typical Twitter. Even if she doesn't win, she's done enough to be counted amongst drivers like Tsunoda, Joe, Lando Norris, Alex Albon. Right, all caught up. I'm gonna need more fluids now. Pretty tired of talking here. Okay, all our hard work, all those sleepless nights have led today. Thank you so much for everything you've put in on the line this season. It's really paid off. Now let's all breathe deep and make it happen. I can't wait to send a follow-up message congratulating you all. We're in this together. Maurizio Salvadori, team principal of Trident. I wanted to see that you are. Wait. Oh, he's got two emails. That you are one of the greatest drivers I have ever worked with. You have come so far in only a single season. I would wish you luck, but I know you don't like it. So have fun out there today. The whole team is behind you. Casper, do every act of your life as if it were your last. Marcus Aurelius, now get out there and show them who's boss. Casper. Right. So it begins. With only a few laps remaining, Cali sets her sights on the F2 Championship. So we're in mid-race, by the way.
The final race of the season now well underway here in Abu Dhabi. A few different drivers in contention for the F2 Championship. But here's the favourite, Calimero.
She's been so consistent this season, so fast. My money's on Meyer for the championship, no question.
If she can finish high enough, the title belongs to her.
Good, Callie. Come on, a podium should clinch this for us.
Then podium it is.
I'm gonna post this first. Keep in mind, last year, the championship was decided in Italy, so... so it's all about the scripting. Both in real life, well, you can't really script it, can you?
Callie, come on, a podium should clinch this for us.
Then podium it is.
Finishing first is a bonus.
Callie. Come on, a podium should clinch this for us.
Then podium it is.
I could have just used the flashback there.
How am I doing?
It's looking good, Callie. Come on, a podium should clinch this for us.
Then podium it is.
Oh, Eurobip's getting lapped.
Nice move. Good job.
Armor Cordial getting lapped. I have to restart this one.
How am I doing?
Should be able
Looking
to
good, Callie. Come on,
overtake
a podium should
Bosch
clinch this for us.
at the back straight.
Then podium it is.
Get the DRS. What the hell was that, Yuri?
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 8.3 seconds.
Should be the DRS. Thanks, Cordial.
Good pace, catching the car in front by about a second a lap.
Didn't get DRS. Tortured Sergeant side by side. Oh my god, the understeer was pretty bad. Whew.
Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
Bloody hell.
Fantastic. 2 cars at once. Really well done.
Even too far from Fittipaldi and Drugovic. 2 Brazilians. 1-2. we had the pace. Oh, side by side at the line.
Yes, Callie! That was amazing! Congratulations! You're the champ!
Callie Mayer, get used to the name. She has her whole career ahead of her, and this is just the beginning. She's done it, as many predicted she would. A star is born. Callie Mayer becomes the first woman ever to win the F2 championship.
Historic. Well, I mean, someone had to be the first. But I just hope that this shows that talent can get you as far as money.
And what about your dad? Has he called to congratulate you yet, Callie?
Nope. Next question.
Oh dear.
Kelly, what's it like being a woman in motorsports? We're sure everyone wants to know.
I don't know, John. What's it like being a man in journalism? Next question.
Okay.
Hot-headed. Yes, for sure. But you know, that's kind of what you need in a driver. Let's not forget that Callie taking the championship was a big deal. You know, for the sport, but really for everyone.
And for you? How did you feel?
It was one of the proudest moments of my career. It was the first time I mentored anyone. Yeah. I was a little sad to be moving on.
So, had you already told Callie about your new job?
Yes, of course. And I told her, you know, how I wished that I could take her with me. But she understood.
And Aiden,
what was it?
Had you told him?
No, he was too busy.
Busy?
Preparing to tell the team that he was leaving Connorsport.
Oh shit.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I know Aiden had something he wanted to say, but first I have a matter I would like to address formally. It is no secret that I have been spread a little thin this season. I mean, I own the team, I run the team, it's a lot, okay? Which is why I will be stepping away from the principal role next season. I'll still be pushing Connorsport Racing to be the brand we know it can be, whilst the new principal will be laser focused on performance and results.
It's gotta be Casper.
And we have already found a man to step into that role.
Oh no.
Casper.
The wink.
Thank you, everyone. Now this is a big step up for me. I'm really looking forward to see what next season brings. It's truly an honor to be on board.
I am sorry for the dramatic nature of the announcement, okay?
I mean,
humor the man who pays you. We all look forward to working with Casper, yes? Good.
Look at Devin.
Then let us
And Aiden.
continue. Aiden, you had something you wanted to say. The floor is yours.
Callie is gonna be
it's nothing.
in the other seat.
I just wanted to say, thank you, everybody, for all your hard work this year. And I'm really looking forward to next season, especially with Casper at the helm.
Look at Devin. Again. So he's staying, is he? 3 months later, 23 and a fresh start, while the 20 seasons put them to the harsh realities of life as a team on the F1 grid. Connorsport Global, both our global racing teams look set to bounce back with a newly invigorated team, now helmed by fan favorite and former driver Casper Ackerman.
Did Casper being around affect you going into the 23 season?
I have bigger things going on than Casper.
Do you have any regrets about 2023? Anything you'd have done differently?
No, I'm in a good place now. Besides, what's to regret about being the story of the season?
Oh. So in Butler's POV, something went on through this season, looks like.
Dad!
Devon,
How's business?
same as ever, hiring and firing. How's racing?
Oh, you know, ducking and driving.
You all prepared?
Of course, I've double-checked the strategy changes. I'm just going over my notes now. Everything's covered, just like always. They won't see me for dust.
Spoken like a true butler. Just remember, we've got a lot on the line this season.
Yeah, I know.
Dev, I'm serious. You're carrying this team, don't forget that.
Yeah, well, you keep signing these second-rate drivers. I can't do all the work.
Just remember where we'd be. Where you'd be if this were all to go belly up.
Just trust me, Dad. You've got nothing to worry about.
Devon, I mean it. If you don't bring your A game, it's back to the bottom of the pile. Do you really want that?
No. No, I don't.
Just keep it in mind. Now go out there and show me what you can do.
Already on it. I'll get you those points, Dad.
Boy. Speak later.
Seems to have some very sour relationship. News. He's back, and this time he's calling the shots. This time, however, it's in his new role as TP for Corner Sport. We started by welcoming Casper back to sport, something that he says he's been getting a lot of. Before asking him if the move into a more managerial position was something he'd always planned, not at all. An opportunity arose, and to be honest, I almost turned it down. It was actually my wife Zoe who talked me into it. Interesting. He also asked if he missed being behind the wheel of an F1 car now that he's on the other side of the pit wall, and would he ever consider return to driving. Imagine that, driver to principal and back to driver. That would be some story. He smiles at the thought. I mean, Jamie Winkup? I mean, he's racing in the Enduros at least ever since stepping back from the full-time drive, being the GOAT of supercars, statistically at least. 23, look ahead. So we say welcome back to F1, welcome back to the hype, the expectation. The season is almost upon us. And while we kick off in Bahrain, we will soon be traveling the whole world, so many of the classics return spots, Silverstone, Singapore, Monaco. But we also have to have two added arenas. Qatar returns after a year off for a small footballing tournament. Oof. And Las Vegas makes its long-awaited second debut. While there was a Caesars Palace Grand Prix back in 81 and 82, this is the real deal, so to speak. Our drivers taking over the entire strip. Meanwhile, all the teams are getting used to those fresh regs after 22's overhaul, and if previous generations of cars are anything to go by, these cars are only going to get lighter and faster as the engineering race. I hate that it ends there. Runners and riders, and we're back after only 103 days. 3 days, the F1 circus is back on the road, and we're here in Bahrain, ready and waiting. So what's new? We bid farewell to the retiring Sebastian Vettel, who is replaced by Fernando Alonso, as Aston Martin swapped one multiple world champion for another. Meanwhile, McLaren swapped one Australian for another. Rookie Oscar Piastri replacing the departing Daniel Ricciardo, who becomes Red Bull's third driver during his unexpected sabbatical. Speaking of third drivers, Mick Schumacher joins Mercedes, the deputy for the Silver Arrows, having been replaced by Nico Hülkenberg at Haas. Elsewhere, Williams swapped Nicolas Latifi with Logan Sargent, and Alpine replaced Alonso Pierre Gasly. Nick De Vries takes his seat at AlphaTauri. It's all changed then, as drivers that became TPs from cockpit to office. Even though Casper Ackermann's career move into the blood sport of being a team principal may have made headlines this week, the Corner Sport head is far from the only one to make such a move from behind the wheel to behind the desk. Alan Prost, I think should be here. Yep. In fact, he follows in illustrious footsteps as the legendary Alan Prost and Jackie Stewart are two forebears who led a team after retiring. For Prost, he took over the Ligier team, renaming it Prost Grand Prix from 92 to 2001. However, he later called the team his biggest mistake. Ouch. Stewart had better luck challenging competitively with Stewart Grand Prix, partnered with Ford. They scored points, won at Nürburgring, and which sowed the seeds for the team that eventually became Red Bull Racing, a legacy that sits nicely alongside his driving exploits, but Ackerman has a very different challenges. Let's go with email first. And I'd like to congratulate everyone on working so hard to get us all here. A lot of the time, the public only see the thin end of the wedge. They only really take in what they see on race day, but it takes an army of you so we can roll our cars up to grid and wait for lights out each and every time. Every one of you holds equal importance at Corner Sport, for it's only when we all put together as one that we can show the world what we are made of. It's the 2023 season. Let's show them what we are made of. Good luck out there, Casper. From one old driver, boys, I'm sending this to you separately, away from the rest of the team. Not only do I know what's like to be one out there in the driving seat, but we've also got history together, which means I know how good both you are behind that wheel. I'm expecting a lot from you both, but in return, I will be behind you 100% and give you everything I can. Corner Sport had a rocky start last year, but this is a new season, a new start. I can't wait to see you both start pulling in some real points. Yes. Hey, Henderson. Davidoff's birthday. Dev, remember it's Davidoff's birthday next month. It's the 23rd. What do you want to do? Do you have something in mind you want to get him, or shall we do the same as last year and I pick something based on whatever his PA says? Either way, I'm happy to pick anything up and make sure it's sent over to the house. He'll be out of the country until the 30th, according to his diary, so there's plenty of time. Also, I finally had a word with the builders about what happened to the car in the basement. It's not good news. Ooh. I'll mail about that separately, as I think I should copy legal in. Oh. Okay, I guess house builders. Something happened that probably destroyed some of the classic cars in Devon's basement. K X something between the two. Devon, it's a fairly straightforward layout for the most part here, as you know, but there are a couple of important features it's worth reminding you about. First of all, turn 10, acute left-hander, you'll be trail braking down, shifting all the way to the apex. If you start to lock up, ease off the brakes, you can afford to lose too much here. Secondly, the final corner, it's a long start finish straight, so you really want to carry as much speed as possible. The track widens at the exit, so you can probably take an early apex. Mark Priestley, starting 14th. Social F123 is here. Been waiting for months for this. A new racing season is the best part of the year. You know who I am. This is the first time being in Devon's perspective here. Here, there, and everywhere. Corner Sport are the ones who watch this here with Ackerman at the helm. I'm expecting great things from Rosanna Tennant. Yeah, if everything goes wrong at Corner Sport again this year, they could always put Ackerman back in the car. The points would come flying in. But which driver would you replace, Aiden or Devon? Would love to see Ackerman and Jackson together again, just like old times. For the lulz. You can feel the anticipation all through the paddock. Real sense of excitement. GB Broadbent with, I'm amazed that Jackson stuck around at Corner Sport this season. The way he was treated in 22, I blame the butlers. Oh wow, I don't think GB would say something like that. Had I went for looking for options for next season, would that change? I imagine Casper joining the team had something to do with that. They're all racing buddies. Maybe that could be the possible reason. Not if his daddy has anything to say about it. Hold on. Oh gosh. hardly anything left there. Butler number 1, big up this season. Gonna be a great one. And Ackerman Jackson reunion. I'm starting to feel all nostalgic. Alright, let's see your predictions for the season. Max to win, Red Bull for constructors, but proceeds to give them a good fight and comes second. Well, that hasn't happened. George to beat Lewis. Hasn't happened either. Mercedes comeback, then RB, then either McLaren or Corner Sport. Corner Sport? Mercedes comeback. That hasn't even happened. That's ambitious. Think McLaren have it in them to beat Ferrari, but I'd put Corner Sport a lot further down in the standings. Well, McLaren, early portion of the season until like they brought in the upgrades weren't really great. Thought the wait would never end. Another year of fireworks at Corner Sport. Maybe now that Casper is at the helm, Corner Sport will finally get rid of Devin Butler. The wait is over. New F1 season. Right, let's go. With his confidence high, Devin Butler looks set to start the season strong at the Bahrain Grand Prix. This year's
it's secure under the lights, and it's
this year's
lovely to have you with us
transition.
for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
So we're going to do the starts, right?
We go racing today around the 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4.
The
Keep an
track
eye
map
out
is
for
different
drivers
now
locking
this
the front
year.
left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have
Still have the
Fernando Alonso, Russell, Perez,
the special
Sainz,
livery on the overalls for the Ferrari drivers.
Albon, Oscar Piastri, Jackson, Gasly, Tsunoda, Bottas,
Good lord,
Butler, Sargent, Joe,
the models still
Magnussen,
don't look pretty
Vries,
great.
and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. 2023 Bahrain. We're about to get going, and I hope you've enjoyed the build-up just as much as we have. The teams are ready on the grid. They're ready in the garages too, but in the commentary box alongside me, are you ready, Ant?
Of course I'm ready, Crofty. New season, new challenges for all of them out there, drivers and teams. I love this part of the year, Crofty. This is where it really kicks off, and you get to showcase all that hard work you've done through the winter months. Does it pay off?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? What does the 2023 season have in store for us? We're about to find out.
Okay, Devon, it's a brand new season, you know that, so let's start it as we mean to go on, okay? Okay? Let's get out there, come on.
Mark. Alternate strategy, softs first, then hards on lap 7. Wait, we're doing half? Honestly, I'd rather go for this strategy. 35. Edit strategy. Yep, I think that's about right. Very little to differentiate, like thousandths of a second, 1,000 of a second difference. Right. I think we're good to go. Gonna do a race start here. Finish in the top 5, okay. Give it a bump from Joe. Engine sounds different from the previous race.
Brilliant, nice move, keep going.
Not ideal.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
Probably slowed me down there. And I'm in clean air for a moment.
Okay, you're in the top 10. Gap to your teammate behind is 1.6 seconds. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.1 seconds.
Whoops. Save some battery here. Lando Norris pits.
In this lap, push now. Aiden's in the pits, Aiden in the pits.
Push it too much in the braking zone.
Aiden's coming in for his stop now. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 4.1 seconds. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.5 seconds.
Still no fastest lap. I don't think we're gonna get one.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
Probably should not have changed the strategy there.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
I was about to say I recovered that one at turn 6. I think we can get a podium here. As long as I can keep it on the road.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Final lap. Push, push. Gap to your teammate behind is
That was not the fastest lap.
12.9 seconds.
What?
Yes, yes, come on, we're on the podium. Good job this weekend. That's a great drive. Thank you.
Meanwhile, plenty of surprises in the midfield. So where do we start, Ant?
Well, I think we have to look at Connor Sport. For me, they've been the biggest surprise so far, and Butler, he's doing fantastically well.
Thing is, though, they've got to sustain that over the course of the whole season. And
Oh my
that
God, the blur
is easier
effect.
said than done. Certainly one Casper Ackerman will be hoping that this season is better than his last. The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team.
Whew. Sad we didn't get the fastest lap. I mean,
What
sucks.
a start to the season, Devon. You must be happy with that performance.
I want to give him the more arrogant answer here. I've got to secure my reputation as one of the all-time greats. I mean, saying this all-time greats, that's also a bit like on the more arrogant side. This season I get to drive a car that breaks and smash it. I'd say this.
Yeah, it just comes so naturally to me. I don't really think anything of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it wasn't impressive. I mean, you seem impressed. I'm sure others do too, and rightfully so. I'm just saying that it was actually pretty easy for me today.
Wow.
Well, you've had your share of run-ins in the past with teammate Aiden Jackson. Crucial question is that behind you? How do you feel about him right now?
I think we could be good friends, but he ignores me. Okay. All of these answers are pretty bad. Wow.
Listen, Aiden is the greatest F1 driver of all time. You ask him, he'll tell you. What, you think I've got an attitude problem? Aiden has got stealth ego, let me tell you. You don't know it's there, and then it emerges. He's a handful. Trust me.
Sheesh.
Well, Connor Sport surprised everyone by appointing Casper Ackerman as team principal this season. So how do you feel about taking orders from someone that you've got such a history with?
This doesn't feel Devin-esque to me, these two. I'm sure he's thankful to have me.
We all know what Casper's like. He's very calm, very considered, and that's great. It's great, but ideally, I wanted a principal I could get my teeth into. You know, I wanted a fiery, passionate Gunter Steiner.
Gunter Steiner type.
But instead, I got the Iceman himself. Is it too late to bring back Andreas? Yeah. Nah. I'm kidding. Ackerman's all right.
Well, you're embarking on a new year, but what would a successful season look like for you in 2023?
This would be an easy answer. I didn't really know much about Casper, about his character, so that might not be the right answer there.
I'm making it my personal mission to make a success of Connor Sport, and by the end of the season, you're all going to be saying what a wonderful team we are and how great a season we've had. And if you're doing that, then I'll consider it a job well done.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Whew. I'm feeling thirsty now.
Great race out there today, just in the highlights. Listen, I know we've had our run-ins and, well, last season was last season. A fresh start for the team. What do you say?
Huh, Jackson. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Bin's over there. Yeah. Nice one.
How about the season just gone?
The 2023 season was completely different for Connor Sport.
How so?
Well, the car, for one. We'd ironed out the most critical issues, and it was just starting to live up to its potential.
Can we talk about what happened with Devon?
Casper? Waiting for a call. Whew.
Yeah, what is it?
Now that's how a butler takes care of business.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Carrying the team, Devon, as well as the butler name. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, went well.
Well, I can't wait to hear what those clowns Ackerman and Connor have to say.
Yeah.
Hmm? You okay, Devon?
What? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm, just adrenaline, Dad. I really pushed it out there today, you know, I just need to simmer down a bit.
Of course you do. Let's talk later. I'll be in meetings, but call me whenever you like. I'm proud of you, son. Let's just make sure today's result isn't just a one-off. Eh?
Yeah. All right. Ciao.
Is he worried about his sister? That's what I'm thinking. I'll be right back. I'm gonna need to come for a break and get a drink. Right, I'll be right back. So alright, gonna read all these things. Unpredictable start of the season, but Devin Butler came good with one of his strongest performances in years. He finished the race in second, getting corner spurt off to exactly the start they were hoping for. I wish I got the fastest lap though. Following on from a whole host of setbacks in 22, a revitalized Devin Butler in a fully functioning corner sport car has proven to be the perfect antidote to the problems that plagued the team repeatedly last season. Is it too early for Devin Butler fans to get excited for 23 season? Maybe. Whether or not this level of performance is sustainable remains to be seen, but Bahrain represents something important to corner sport and something the team won't have felt for a long time. Hope. The Ackerman effect. Ever since it was announced that Casper Ackerman was appointed team principal at Corner Sport, the F1 world couldn't help itself but speculating how he would take to the role. No one could doubt his credentials as a driver, but could he really run an F1 team? Plenty were skeptical, but the early signs are promising. We've been hearing positive noises from the Corner Sport camp regarding the changes Ackerman made in pre-season testing, and today's performance from Butler, a second place finish no less, would seem to confirm that the team is doing something right, at least for now. Could this be a turning point for Corner Sport? Could the era of Casper Ackerman usher in a new dawn, an era in which the car works, the drivers are content, and the team finally becomes recognized as a genuine threat to the established order? Trackside chats. He's back and is this... Okay, well, I think we already read everything here. Yeah, we have. Social. Ackerman's clearly had a word second. Butler's on fire. Devin the Demon. Don't think I've ever seen him drive like that. Sub Jansen. I'll have some of whatever he's had. Unbelievable. I didn't realize the corner sport car could go that fast. Man, fair play. That was an immense drive, but I can stand seeing that smug get up on the on that podium. Don't be jealous. You sound like a Jackson fan. Some interesting results here. Not sure how accurate an indicator will be for the rest of the season. Bit different to how it looked in winter testing, isn't it? Defo. Think some of them were definitely holding back in testing, unless they managed to just magically find a whole heap of performance down the back of the sofa. Oh, interesting. So Devin Butler wants to work with Gunter Steiner. I wonder who could come out on top of that relationship. Post from Ben. Pace, form, focus. Bravo, Devin Butler. Fantastic start. Finally, team Butler and Jackson. Was Ackerman the key? From Anthony Davidson. From rookie performances to surprising results. We tackled it all in our Bahrain Grand Prix review. We've got a lot to prove this season, but if that performance is anything to go by, we're in for some fireworks. For Maxime. How do you think Alonso's feeling about his new seat? I think he feels great now. Getting that preferential treatment from Daddy. Hate that guy. Wonder what Jackson could be achieving if he was given the same kind of help. Why would you prioritize your weakest driver? If Aiden was actually on the scene loves Devin, then he would get that kind of treatment. It's got nothing to do with nepotism, it's common sense. Come on. Did you see Sergeant DeVries afterwards? I saw one of them was giggling like a little kid. Interesting. I don't know what that was about. What can I say? I'm humbled. I knew Corner Sport were good, but that was something else. I'll have much more to say at the debrief and to each department in turn, but we are firing on all cylinders. Keep it up. This is only the beginning. Boys, could you slow down a little next time? I'm still settling in and couldn't keep up. Seriously, thank you. I've got a lot of people looking over my shoulder right now, and you both just made my life so much easier. Wait. Would be nice to know who the recipients are for this email. Couldn't be prouder. I saw some phenomenal talent out there on show today. I know we'd make a great team. I'll see you both at the debrief. I'll want you now. There will be applause. Cass. Looks like I'm not going to have to get legal involved at all. The insurance are... I guess this is what Devin's upset about. To pay the claim for the damage to the bodywork, and there's a specialist over in Barnes willing to take it on. It'll take a few months, but at least we can get it sorted. I need a decision on what we do with the builder, though. I've spoken to him again. He clearly feels really guilty about the whole thing. I also found out exactly how it happened Would you believe that he decided to hop onto the driver's seat and pretend to be a racing car driver? He said he couldn't resist. His face was bright red while he was telling me. Okay. So, builder of the car, the irony is he didn't even know who you were. It's when he got out that he pranged the door. It's one heck of a dent. He does seem like a real nice guy. It's clearly a big job for him, so I just need to know if you're happy with him to continue with work. Let me know what you want to do to make it happen. Right. I wonder if there was another call in this one aside from what we had with. Aside from Davidoff. Need to look that up after the stream. Right, next chapter. Australian Grand Prix, strong start to the season for the Cornersport has this team in high spirits as the paddock heads to Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. We're in Devon shoes again. What have you got? Surely there's another call coming. Catching up with F2 superstar, her monumental win in F2 last season has left many wondering just what's next for Callie. I definitely achieved what I set out to do in F2, perhaps a little too quickly. Just because I'm not visibly on track this season doesn't mean I'm not driving. I'm busier than ever. It's a double-edged sword if you're an F2 champion or champion in F2 and F3. If I mean more so in F2, of course, especially if there's not a seat in F1 that's available because you can't race in F2 again. We asked what her daily routine currently looks like, if she now sees a future in F1 after her success last season. I'm in the simulator most days and helping out one of the F1 teams with test driving and car evaluation. Someone knows it's difficult and not just about talent so much, is down to finding and being in the right place at the right time. Come on, is there a new call? None. Bright turnaround. All points to the fact that Cornersport seems like a brand new team this season. Many would argue that it's all down to Casper Ackerman taking the managerial driving seat as team principal. He's certainly a man that knows his way around a team after a long and industrious driving career of his own. The drivers too seem to be racing with a renewed sense of purpose, especially Devon, who's constantly flying out of the grid as he's got something to prove with a car that's finally performing this season. The drivers who seem to know just how to handle it. Cornersport are at last delivering on their potential as a racing outfit to watch out for. A look into 22's Albert Park track updates. It's been a year since the track refreshes around Melbourne's Albert Park debuted. Drivers will be familiar with it now, but it's worth reminding ourselves what we're dealing with. 7 of its corners have been modified, many of them widened so as to encourage overtaking closer wheel-to-wheel racing. 2 are removed entirely, with what was a chicane at 9 and 10 becoming a straight. 1, 3, 6, 15 are all widened, and 13 and 15 so altered. Cameras allow more for multiple racing lines. Australia was good value last year. Let's hope for more of the same last year. Varied history of Albert Park, from garbage dump to Grand Prix. I didn't know about that, of course. And while Albert Park is synonymous with F1 now across the grid, if you're a Melbourne native who isn't versed in motorsport, it might mean something different, because Albert Park is, well, a park based around a lovely lake with restaurants, playgrounds, and other facilities with some nice housing. But that wasn't always the case. In fact, Albert Park was once victim to Melbourne's wider waste problem and became a makeshift garbage repository. Eventually used for grazing, military training, and rifle practice, the park was protected and connected by train to the rest of the city center, eventually opening up to housing, sport, and leisure activities like boating. That slow shift sowed the seeds for what we think of Albert Park today as an impressive Grand Prix venue, I guess. What's about to be said. On to the emails. Can you come down to the garage early? In Devon, everything's running perfectly, but we've had to make some last minute tweaks to the transmission. Should squeeze a little more performance out of it, but I love you down in the garage so I can go through with you both face to face. I'll be here, so pop down as soon as you can. Boys, we have a great start to the season, but now is always the risky part. Let's keep the energy up and not take our eyes off the prize. I've always used to find the first few races tricky. It's easy to rest on your laurels once you've started to find form. Let's go out there today as if this is the last race we'll ever do, Casper. Yarra Valley booked. Private tour is booked and confirmed. I put the details in your diary, but you'll be picked up from the hotel at 8 a.m. on Monday. Don't be late for this one. It's a full day and there's a lot going on. Please don't leave everyone waiting this time. Also, Nigel Manson's traveling gloves are finally arrived. Yep, it is Devin who got the gloves. The auction house were extremely apologetic about the delay. I forgot the auction even happened so long ago. I'm not sure where you want me to put them, and I have a sneaking suspicion that you may not care. Perhaps somewhere on show down in the basement. Honestly, I still think that was an incredible amount of money to spend just to annoy someone. I think Devin knows about it. Almost forgot I had 2 goals. Now from a private clinic mentioned something about an appointment you've booked, but you won't talk to me about it. Do you know anything about this? If so, can you call on them? Interesting. Health problem. Good to see Ackerman back. Cool, calm and collected as ever. Just wish he was the one driving. Got my eyes on Devin. They look great in practice. His race will be even better. Good race. We know Ackerman cracked it. The principal's got a lot to prove. We chat with Devin about his hot start of the season, along with a few off-topic discussions. Big prediction away from top 3 to leave massive tier shake-up as put all to shame. From Arav, it'll never happen. It's still early in the season. Besides, gonna have got lucky. They'll never keep this up. Just arriving at the main gate now. Get Ackerman driving. That's all I'm saying. Ackerman and Butler side by side. Now that be a team. You've been practicing our Australian to fit in. Mini whisk. What? No worries. Fair go. Biscuits. G'day. Where's off at the first corner? Slip on my beans. Lol. Does F2 always race here? No, it would have been the first time. First time in Albert Park along with F3. Shamer isn't still in F2. Would have loved to seen her here. Let's see if Jackson can match his teammates' pace today. Butler start the season has caught me by surprise. Card serving as Red Bull's first driver. The home fans can now throw their full support behind rookie Oscar Piastri. Let's go Oscar and Lando to a lesser extent. Right. Let's do it. Solid performance in qualifying as a team in a good position at the Australian Grand Prix.
Here comes Butler. Good pace here down the straight. Into the corner we go. That's a little too late, and he nearly goes off the track on the exit. Ant, is that a lapse in concentration?
I think just a little bit of desperate driving there, Crofty. He's pushing way too hard. I mean, there's nobody else around him at this stage.
Okay, Devin, we're going to have to ease off from the brakes. Brakes don't feel right. Okay, we'll have a look at it, but you're going to see a drop-off in performance, I'm afraid. What? Why? We've asked you to take it easy on the last lap, but pushing has made the issue even worse. So we're just going to have to live with it for now. What are you talking about? Listen, just do what you can, please, Devin. Come on.
Right. Hold on to as many positions as you can. Right.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
to the car ahead is 3.2 seconds. And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Oh boy.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. Our gap to the car in front is 5.2 seconds.
Whoa!
Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap. And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Look, this isn't the first time we've seen Devon Butler go rogue, but the question is, what are Connor Sport going to do about it?
Well, it's really hard, as we've seen so many times before, Crofty, in the past. So hard to control your drivers. In a way, they're their own entity, but on the top of it, they're working for the team, and that's what you want. It's a very hard situation to manage.
And working for the team, Casper Ackermann wanted to make a clean break for this year. This does feel, though, that it's something that they might have had to have dealt with last season.
It's really not what they wanted. A repeat of what happened in the past, and you cannot let it go on. It can't continue. They're just damaging the reputation of the team and their own reputation as well. They have to sort it out. I'm sure they'll be having words.
So it's all changed here in Australia, and as the teams acclimatised to their new standings, so will we. Red Bull put up an outstanding fight.
Ha ha ha.
Now, Devon, you didn't respond to a team order today. In Hungary last season, you said it was a comms issue, but Connor Sport claimed they didn't know what that issue was. So, are they hiding something? What's really going on here?
Look, anything I say is going to be taken out of context. So I'd rather not fuel that kind of speculation. I'll debrief the team, and we'll figure out how we can stop it happening again. That's all there is to it.
Devon, you finished the race with a compromised car today. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was tough out there. I mean, I love this track. You know I can do well here, and it's frustrating to deal with anything that slows me down. You know, I didn't like it, and the team didn't like it.
Now, some have been saying that you do get preferential treatment because your father funds the team. What do you say to those allegations?
A lot of preferential treatment. Wow. It's proud for their team to prioritize their best driver.
That always strikes me as really odd, like as if the only reason that I'm fast on the track is because my dad funds the team. You know, how is that an explanation? It's ridiculous.
So how do you expect Connor Sport to perform this season based on your performance so far?
We can do the whole thing.
I expect us to win the whole thing, Natalie. You know, people talk about Mercedes and Red Bull, but people are in for quite a shock this time around because Connor Sport will be top of the constructors by
End of the season. Yeah, that was a pretty.
Mark my words. You heard it here first. Boom.
Oh yep, there is the.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The decrease in the rep. That was a bit over the top. Could have gone for the bottom answer.
Could you take a look at this, please?
Early trends on this year's car show that it was the right decision to switch development when we did last year. This is still so much of this. There's still so much of the season left, but we put ourselves in a good position to compete with our rivals. If you used to comment on what happened out there today, speculation is rife. What should we say?
Andreo. Butler, what was that out there today? I will not have a return to last season. We are a team. He cannot be allowed to do just what he wants.
Just calm down, I have it under control.
Oh, this is Devon we're talking about. There is no control. He nearly lost the car, Casper.
But he didn't. You know what it gets like out there. I'm sure there's an explanation.
Or an excuse.
And we'll find out. I'll be racing it at the debrief, okay? So I'll report back to you.
Okay, hang on. Look, I've got to go. I've got Davidoff on the other line.
Of course you have. Enjoy.
Case of the missing team order pushes despite warning. While fans across the world heard the order come through on the Corner Sport radio, appears to be the only one who missed it. Reactions from those in and around the racing world have been polarized. Calls for Corner Sport to let the man drive on social media have been met with a conflicting view from those closer to the back paddock. Lucas Weber branded the incident as typical Butler, adding, in all the years he's been driving, Devin's arrogance hasn't once diminished. Now it seems as if he's been given a license to do what he wants. He's uncontrollable. Let's all ease off the Butler critique, but it always surprises me how rarely those of us watching on cry and wail about how the driver in the car is somehow doing it all wrong. Ever notice how easy Ever notice how easy it is make those assessments from the comfort of your sofa? You take a bite from your sandwich, reach for another sip of your drink, and confidently pass judgment. The driver in question is an idiot. Regardless of what actually happened on track with Devin Butler in Melbourne, there is a difference between a driver who sit in the seat of an F1 car competing in the highest level of motorsport and the spectators who sit in the comfort in homes and TV studios staring at their screens passing judgment from afar. Just for once, let's acknowledge the difficulty of the sport and give Devin Butler the benefit of doubt. Can anyone fill me in? What's going on? Why has Devin Butler made a habit of ignoring team orders? It's because he thinks he can get away with it. It's simple. He still brought it in 11, though. They should leave him to it. Even with a compromised car, Butler still outperforms his teammate. Shaking my head. Will win the constructors. What planet is he on? Diluted. Is this really Devin's fault, or do we need to start talking about the Corner Sport car again? I think the whole team are sick of the car by now. Says to think he might benefit from his father funding the team. It'd be more ridiculous to assume he didn't. Is anyone really surprised? This is typical Butler, peak Devin. We shouldn't be shocked about this kind of behavior by now. Please shut up, no one cares about your dumb opinions. Wow. Another the fanboy as always. In fairness, it's being a better pundit than driver. Wow, damn. There's no two ways about it. Butler cost him points today. Fishing outside the points and levels. Tough one to swallow for Ackerman and the team at Corner Sport. What would it have had been if I finished on the points? Although that would have been impossible. The Ferrari and the Alpine had streaked away once they gone past me. Easy to say when you're not driving the car. Had issues. That's on Corner Sport. He can only drive the car to give him. I'm having deja vu, or did this happen last year with Butler openly ignoring team orders? What's going down? We're on repeats already. Are we going to have some more cost cap drama next? Well, good news. It didn't happen this year with the cost cap breach. Nonsense is spouting. Did anyone hear that? Corner Sport top of the constructors. He's cracked. People can moan about nepotism all they want. Still continues to prove he's better driver of the team. While they're having an impressive start of the season, can't let this latest issue snowball. Surely Ackerman has brought in to deal with issues just like this. Wonder if he regrets his decision now. No way, it was an opportunity of a lifetime. Anyway, the season's still young. People are overacting a bit. Yeah, and that's from the Ackerman fan. Casper, we've just run a full diagnostics check on Devin's car. I won't go into everything here, but it's not quite as bad as we feared. Should be good to go again in no time. Let's talk about it when you're next in the garage. Casper, call me as soon as you get this. We need to discuss the parity line with regard to what happened out there today. We all know that certain things will always be temperamental come race day. I'll not have the finger pointed at Devin for this one. From Davidoff. Sorry, so there's not too much drama to deal with, but then I guess there's always is, right? Lily's still cheering for Aiden. I'm still cheering on you. Hang in there, Zoe. From her work account, of all things. Okay, I think it's gonna be our this next one's gonna be our last.
No, it's a big deal when one of your drivers decides to do their own thing. So I called him out on it at the next team meeting.
And what was Devon's reaction?
Well, he denied the whole thing. You know, blamed it on a comms fate.
Which I thought was strange. The same thing happened the year before when I was principal, and he gave the exact same excuse.
Imola, several weeks later, with 2 races in as many years now impacted by communication issues involving Devon, Cornersport management have started to ask questions as the grid heads to Imola. Casper looks for clarity from his driver.
Yeah?
You wanted to see me?
Ah, there he is. You're a difficult man to pin down. Right, I'll cut right to the chase, Devon. Tell me what's happening.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's not just disregarding team orders. Paddock talks. People are saying you've been distracted, that you're ignoring them completely. Now, my job is to make sure the team works smoothly, like clockwork, so I'm just trying to work out what's going on.
I told you, check the comms.
Yeah, the comms are fine, Devon. We checked. What's going on?
Nothing.
Just cut that out. Show me some respect now.
Oh, wow. Straight away.
Okay. I heard the order. Alright? You happy?
Why ignore it?
I'm feeling it, Cass. Pressure. Paddock gossip these last couple of months.
Oh, come on. You're Devon Butler. You are the paddock gossip.
Because Ackerman's team, like I said...
You've heard what they're saying, right? You've seen what they're writing. Driving on Daddy's money. It's making me second guess myself.
Okay. We can work through that. Start changing the team narrative.
Absolutely.
But in the meantime, I'd like you to see someone from the medical team. Just to be sure. I've booked you in for this afternoon.
No, Cass. Look, I've got a race to prep for, okay? I need my head in the game. I'm fine.
I think I'm hearing F2 race.
That's fine. But I want you to see them straight after the race. Understood?
Yeah. Fine.
I think the worry about Mayor. Thought I was about to Fox smash the door. Here we go. Are we gonna get a call or something? Gotta give it a couple more seconds for something to appear on the right side. Right, the news, family affair. How many Butlers is too many after disastrous event at the Aussie GP in which Butler seemed to openly ignore a direct team order. It itself a stark reflection of an incident last season. One can only wonder if Motorsport's overarching problem is one of too many butlers, the Schumacher, the Verstappens, Rosbergs. F1 is filled with father and son dynamics, but with Butler Sr. as their primary investor and Butler Jr. driving for the team, it's easy to imagine a rather unique situation. A corner sport in which Devon is perhaps given a certain concessions from the top regarding his on-track actions. Wait, hold on. How about the Strolls at Aston? One would trust that Casper Ackerman would be the balancing force here, but with a father and son duo driving the very fortunes of the team, it's debatable how far his hands may be tied. Humble beginnings. It's not something that I went out of my way to broadcast, but I was still living with my mom when I made the move to F1. What's wrong with that? These humble beginnings are definitely something that Jackson seems to have left in the past as we sit chatting on the roof terrace of his spacious London townhouse. A lot of F1 drivers remember are living in Monaco. If there's one thing that F1 has given me, it's a bit of financial freedom. Got to pay off my mom's house and buy one of my own. That's why he chose London as his base. The answer was simple. England was always be my home, even if I do spend most of the year away from it. Besides, I always thought London's the best city in the world. I'm starting to think of the Pauls. Melbourne mishap refused to be straight with us. It's a case of collective deja vu. We saw it in Hungary last season. We've seen it again in Australia. The issue last time was the same as last time. For whatever reason, Butler's not follow a team order and team response this time is identical to. Clearly don't with their own cars, so that's the case. And it's a case of gross incompetence on behalf of a team who need to be competing at their highest possible level. If it's not true, then Cornsport aren't being straight with us, and that's almost concerning. I think that was one of the I went for the no comment answer. Home of Ferrari, English heritage. Discussing Imola, or to give its full name, Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It perhaps lesser known as bears the name of the legendary Enzo Ferrari and his son Dino. Founder of Ferrari himself, former racing driver who was known by many names through the years. Il Commendatore, the commander, or in his later life, Il Grande Vecchio, the great old man. Imola isn't far from Maranello, the main Ferrari factory where so many legendary cars through the years have been given life by the prancing horse. And so this weekend, it's not just Formula 1 that many of these Italian fans come to celebrate, but Ferrari, whatever else is there. I hope I pronounced the great old man translation correctly, the Italian one. But yeah, anything else? Email, interview. Hey Devin, we know there's a lot of focus on you in the press right now after Melbourne. We're working to stem the tide, but we thought maybe we could arrange an interview for you. We have a knack for spinning stories, and we could use that to our advantage. Help me make the story go away. Let us know. No subject. Thanks for the chat earlier. Appreciate your honesty. My door is always open. I know you like to deal with things on your own terms, but I'm here to help. Just say a word. Check up. If you could head over after race, they'll be ready to see you. Any questions, just shout. Mark Priestley. Try throughout. We shouldn't have to deal with high temperatures due to the crowd. Over. Oh, guess what happened in real life? It didn't. The race didn't happen, or the entire weekend didn't happen. Driving on a team funded by Dad, managed by retired racing legend. He never got on with a teammate who was once his sworn rival. Say what you want about Butler is anything but dull. Sure enough. I mean, if I recall, they based Butler from God, I was thinking about him earlier this night. Dan Tictum. I think that's where they are basing this mostly off. Reckon Ackerman will be watching Imola hiding behind the sofa today. Have to get it right. Does anyone else get the sense that Butler isn't the same driver he once was? Something's been up with him for a while. Off the pace, we'll be watching him closely today. That's interesting. Paid off his mom's mortgage once he made it. I've always thought he was a good guy. Aw, okay. Who wouldn't do that with the money he's making? Well, exactly. I mean, Devin doesn't really have to. Hoping to see another race where Devin does whatever he wants. Threatening clouds out there this morning, but it should be clear by race time. Andrea Corner's being seen around the paddock this morning with a beaming smile on his face, clearly happy to be back home, at least for this weekend. But clearly not because of where Consport are in the standings. Huh? What happened between all these races? Knock it off. They started well, some even uneven performances, but that happens to most teams. People forget this is only their second year. Really enjoyed Imola this last few years. Looking forward to another cracking race this year. Wasn't really the case last year. The race in Imola last year was rather dull, if I recall correctly, even with the rain. I think the thing that stood out was Leclerc's fumbling towards the end. Indeed, it's great to see it back on the calendar. It's too much to ask to have an all-Ferrari front row this weekend. And also, apparently there's like a consideration about moving back to another just one race in Italy again, considering how many races they have in the United States. Of course they would do such thing. FOM. Is it too much to ask Kevin for front row? Good luck with that one. Exactly. Scrutiny, behavior. What does this put extra pressure on his teammate to perform in case Butler's antics backfire again? Right. Before we start, I'm gonna need to take another comfort break again. I'll be right back. I stubbed my toe. Right, here we go. It's gonna be the last chapter of the night. Feeling the pressure mount, hopes a strong performance will divert the team's attention from any concerns about his health. Oh. There it is. What's the objective here?
Devin, is everything alright?
Fine. Fine. Just leave me to it, yeah?
Okay. That was pretty bad. I didn't want to do that. Oh.
Gap to your teammate ahead is 0.1 seconds.
I didn't realize it was first gear there. I went first gear, I mean. Whoops.
Brilliant, nice move. Keep going. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff.
That's really an illegal overtake there.
Okay, you're now in P13. closing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep it up. And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
See what happens here. That was a cutscene. That frankly looks suspicious. Here it is. I was about to say, Devon's gonna...
Devon Butler now. Oh, that's not good! Oh no! Devon Butler spins! He's out!
Oh, he just misjudges it and clips the curb. What a mess!
Devon Butler, with that move, is out of the race. He won't want to see that too many times. We want to see him out of the car, though. That's good news.
Big relief there, although he does still look a bit unsteady on his feet, Crofty.
Well, thumbs up to the crowd, but I'd imagine after that, he'll be quite shaken.
Ackerman.
Hey.
Sponsored by Hans.
Done, Casper. I'm done.
I was about to say,
It's okay.
he kind of replicated what Leclerc did last year.
It was his hearing. He'd been keeping it from us. I think maybe he'd been trying to keep it from himself. I mean, he was at the height of his career. Yeah, what can you say?
How did you feel?
I was devastated. But 5 years in F1. Can't argue with that. I mean, most people never even get the chance, though. And I was still one of the best while I was out there. You ask anyone.
How did you feel when Devon left?
How did I feel?
Hope you didn't hear my mom coughing there in the background. Several weeks later, with Devon's sudden retirement, the team at Cornersport are forced to scramble in an attempt to find a driver who can replace his performance on track. Well, I think I know what's gonna be. Who's gonna be?
But if we are going to hit our targets, we need another driver. A permanent one. And fast.
But we are mid-season. It's impossible.
So, given the circumstances, do you think you can grant us a bit of leeway on the contract?
I have the projections. If Connorsport doesn't reach 5th place in the Constructors this season, the returns simply aren't worth my time. That was always the deal. And it still is.
But with a little extra time, perhaps we...
Stop! The deal stands. And without Devon driving, there's now little of interest for me beyond the contract. It's just business.
There must be something we can do.
So, legacy is obviously important to you, David. As a father, I totally get that. So if Devon, your son, can't drive, how about your daughter? Why don't we give the seat to Callie?
No. California will not be signed to Connorsport.
Oh, that's her full name.
Just
California.
Just think of the commercial opportunities for the team that signs her. Forget legacy. Oh, you'd be making history.
And you'll be giving a phenomenal talent her first break into F1. It's the right thing to do. You know she deserves it.
The daughter who took her mother's name to spite me.
Yeah, that's what was.
Nah, she'll never say yes.
It's an F1
Why don't you
seat.
leave that to me?
And yeah, her mentor as the TP.
Contract still stands, Ackerman. 5th place, or I'm out next season.
One problem at a time, eh?
Several weeks later, F1 calendar waits for no one while Casper and Andrea work to secure a permanent replacement for Devon. The team must turn its attention to the Spanish Grand Prix. Imola incident, of course.
Andrea?
Have you spoken to her yet?
Yes, we've spoken.
And what did you say?
She'll be around this weekend. She agreed to come and see me.
You mean you haven't asked her yet?
Of course not. It's a delicate situation. I'm sure she has an idea, but... look, it's not just something you casually ask over the phone, is it?
Why not?
Come on. This is potentially life-changing for her. And the whole family situation needs to be handled with a little, care and respect.
Well, you're the one that knows her. Just make sure she says yes and fast. I'm finding it difficult to keep fielding questions about the future of Conesport.
Yeah, I read part of that interview. Could almost feel you squirm.
That bad, huh?
Worse. Look, I'll call you as soon as I know.
Righto. Gonna read all of these before we end the stream, right? So what really happened to Devon? The rumor mill in full force, leading to extreme speculation about Devon Butler's future on the team. Cornersport are yet to release an official statement about precisely what happened at Imola, but Butler has not been seen since, leaving Cornersport reserve. Noah Bell set to start his second Grand Prix in Barcelona this weekend. Interesting. Paddock gossip is rife with reasons for Devon's absence. Some say he quit Cornersport in frustration. Some say the infighting with his father became too much to bear. Infighting. And others have perhaps more realistically speculated on a potential medical condition. Whatever the case, we're sure to find out the truth before long and hope to see the indomitable Devon Butler back in the driving seat soon. Speaks out about Devon, so... oh gosh, it's like dawning me even more about him blaming the comms more. So we were overjoyed to interview the owner of Cornersport and Jerry Corners at such a pivotal time for the team. The question on everyone's lips right now: what's going on with Devon Butler, and will he be back? Remains in the team. He is seeking treatment for medical issues that we're not at liberty to disclose right now. So it turns out it was a medical issue for Devon. Although this is the first time we've heard anyone from Cornersport confirm it. When will we know more? That's up to Devon. He's the one who will decide when to discuss this, if he even wants to. In the meantime, we have backup plans in place and intend to support Devon completely. Beyond that, our priority remains fulfilling the obligations to our sponsors, to our fans, and living up to the great potential that this team has. Port in the storm, small mercies, and their struggles on track are evident, but word from the paddock suggests that Cornersport are at least winning one battle, that is winning hearts and minds. Sources suggest that one more established teams and drivers have a lot of time for Cornersport and a lot of sympathy for their struggles. Some point to their own experience at newer teams and how long it takes to get properly up and running. However, F1's a fickle sport, and perhaps a general reluctance to go on the record is an indicator of how quickly tides can turn if things change. Mid-season driver swaps. So for anyone new to F1, it's worth having a brief cheat sheet on rules about mid-season driver swaps. Mainly that there are none. Unlike in other sports, there is nothing forcing a team to stick to their driver pairing. The list of driver swaps is endless, but notable examples begin with a team currently on the grid in the 2000s and mid-2010s. Red Bull made quite the name for themselves when it came to swapping drivers mid-season. Liuzzi clean, sharing the second seat. Kvyat for Verstappen, a decision that looks positively prophetic with hindsight, and Gasly out, Albon in. Renault also made the most of a mid-season gamble, bringing in a young Carlos Sainz in place of the outgoing Julian Palmer. That's spelled incorrectly. There's no E in Julian. Again, looking at where Sainz is now, I think he's done all right. Yeah, he's been to a lot of teams. Sainz, Toro Rosso, Renault, McLaren, then now Ferrari. Email first. I'll head on over. Kaz, I'm already here. Landed in Spain last night and have just arrived at the track. A few bits to finish up first, then I'll head straight over to Corner Sport. Really looking forward to seeing you and catching up. I've got so much to tell you. Also intrigued as why you couldn't talk on the phone earlier and said you needed to see me. You'd better not be up to something. Oh, Casper is onto something. They published the trackside chats interview. I did. It'd be great if you can keep on top of anything Devon related. Even the smallest contradiction could lead to speculation. Don't need. It's exactly the same messaging we discussed. Devon's got a medical condition. It's up to him if he wants to talk about it. Let's hold off on any talk to offer replacement for another week if we can. Andreo. What's this? Zoe, Callie called. Yes, she does suspect you're going to offer her the seat. Of course she does. I said I couldn't possibly comment, which I guess is as good as confirming it. Yeah, she's going to find out after the race anyway, right? It's wonderful you're offering her the seat. It'd be so good for the sport. Call me when you get this, Zoe. Social, still no Devin Butler on the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix. Strange not seeing him out there. Do you think he'll be back? Going on the available evidence, no I don't. Certainly not this season. We're thinking of you, Devin. Rest up and be well. From Aiden himself. Corner Sport have Noah Bell out there for a second consecutive race. I can't imagine they'll be happy with that. But what choice do they have? I sense a mid-season signing approaching. This whole thing with Butler is like super weird. Zero word from the team except to acknowledge that something's going on. Like it's clear he wasn't hurt, but what gives? Medical problems, it's that simple. Some stuff's private, you know. He doesn't have to lay it all out in public just to keep you happy. Avoiding publicity, didn't have that in my list of predictions for 23. I hear F1 drivers are superstitious about health and stuff. It's a really big deal for some of them. Superstitious. Okay. I don't get the sense this is a superstitious thing. It's definitely something legit. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying that might be why he's not keen on talking about it yet. Pressure continues to pile on Corner Sport. It's inevitable this will trickle down to their drivers. It's a difficult position they are in. Jackson's got to carry this team now. Bell can't be expected to just come in and perform to the same level. What's the name? Noah Bell. That is. Ackerman must be thinking, what did he get himself into? Am I the only one that makes a bet with themselves as to what the winning strategy will be? You start to see this turn into a nightmare. How will they respond to in Spain? Focus on the top of the championship, not this mid-tier drama. Oh, telling the network. I see. Come off it. This is a fascinating story this year. All caught up. Right, I'm gonna edit right here. Hope you guys have enjoyed this second part of the playthrough in Breaking Point 2. I forgot to mention this earlier about the Crew Motor Fest. Release date is 14th, not the 11th. The 11th is for the early access. I may not be getting an early access to the game. But I saw that there is a 5 hour free trial for the game from 14th to 17th. So I'm gonna try and set a schedule for that on the 14th, then, which is Thursday, Monday, 11, 12, 13, 14. So yeah, on Thursday and Friday, that's gonna be a bit tricky for me to schedule that one. Singapore, it's gonna be a Singapore Grand Prix, so there's not a lot to go, I guess, to go for. Should be fine. But then on Thursday I'll be working in office, so plus other things going on that day as well. So yeah, so the crew will be for 2 days. Then I'm gonna continue, of course. Next part of Breaking Point should be on Tuesday as well. So yeah, so that's it. Hope you guys, like I said, hope you guys have enjoyed. Want to look forward to all what's coming up pretty soon. Follow me here on Twitch. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel to see the past streams, all the VODs from all the playthroughs and story modes and all that, and then the online stuff that we get with the Need for Speed games. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm already pretty much tired right now. Yeah, hope you guys have a good night and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and take care of yourselves out there. Yep. Right. Good night, guys.